Hi, my name is Jane Hokinson, and I am going to present my EDL 580 case study on copyright. I am a principal in a small K-8 school, St. Regis. It's 420 students. There's 2 classes per grade. I've been a principal for 3 years, and I really have prided myself on establishing positive relationships with the community and with my staff. We get our financial support from the state, and we have a lot of our fundraising come through the PTA. Our school budget has basic classroom materials that it provides, and then a small amount is dedicated to computer software. The PTA agreed to buy new software over the next 2 years. Our library and media center is very busy, and the teachers do want more software opportunities in their classroom, and they've asked for copies, and Mrs. Lynn, our media specialist, made copies of the program, but she also knew it was a copyright violation. We have a new elementary teacher, Mrs. Brandon. Where she came from, she knew it was a violation and was very uncomfortable with what happened. She brought it to the attention of me, and I was unaware of the situation. And so as the principal, I went to Mrs. Lynn for clarification of just reasons for what had happened. She believes, even though she knows that it is a copyright infringement, really, who's going to catch it? Even the PTA president knew about it and just thought it was a great way to save money. This is a situation that needs to be rectified because there's legal ramifications. The Copyright Office says that it protects all original work through many different avenues, but also computer software is under that umbrella. Also, the ethical issue is that we should be setting good examples. Even though it's the idea of doing something right, even though nobody else is around. Yes, the copyright police may not know about this, but it's still against the law, and we should be adhering to the law. So in one sentence, as a principal, I have found out that several of my staff and PTA members have knowingly violated copyright laws in an attempt to save money and resources. Now, what facts I know, myself, the people involved is myself, Miss Lynn, Mrs. Brandon, who brought it to my attention, Mrs. Williams, there are other staff, and even the PTA president that know of this copyright infringement going on. We know the place and what size of school it is. We also know the programs that are involved are the PTA, because the monies that bought the program have come from them. We know that the media center is involved, software company, and even the school district. Things that we don't know are who are the other teachers, how many people know about this, and we don't also know what everyone's knowledge of copyright law is. We do know where Mrs. Brandon's is, but we don't know where everybody else knows exactly the ramifications of it. We don't know where Mrs. Brandon's former school was, and we don't necessarily know what software company is that the information came from. We don't know if there are any grants to supplement the purchasing of software, and right now, with any indication, we don't know what the board policies are in regards to copyright and any infringement that takes place. So the questions we need to consider. Could this situation be damaging to the community? Yes, it could. If things get out of hand, if media comes in, it could be bad publicity, plus there could be a lawsuit, and monies could have to be returned, and that could be very damaging to the community. Do individuals and groups have an important stake in the outcome? Most definitely. I think of the reputation of PTA, representation of me, the principal, reputation of the school. Have all relevant stakeholders been consulted? The information is not clear, so pick no. Can I learn more about the situation? Most definitely I can, but do I have enough information to make a decision or respond? I do, and that is right back to the fact that it's a legal concern and an ethical concern that a decision can be made. So what are my options now that I know the decision, what decisions are. First of all, just take no action. Sweep it under the rug, okay. Let it still go on, because, yeah, you're right. Will anybody know about it? Option 2, address the issue, destroy the flash drives, and see if a schedule can be adjusted. In that one also, there's no real communication about what happened. Just get rid of the evidence and see if things can be scheduled so that people can use the library more efficiently. Option 3, confiscate the flash drives and see if we can get permission from the software company to use it. Other option is option number 4, is get the flash drives, call a meeting with all the stakeholders, and form a plan of action. Pros and cons to each one. A lot of the pros on option 1, definitely keep the peace. The con to that one, it is ethically wrong and it will tarnish a reputation. With option 2, doing the right thing and trying to please many. From the sounds of it, that is sort of what I as a principal want to do, is just to have a good relationship with everybody. My reputation could still be wrong and in jeopardy because the wrong has not been addressed at all. Option 3, I could do the right thing and permission could be granted, and great, we've saved money. But the cons is the software company might think it's too late and still press charges. But then what do we still do while we're waiting for the response? And in option 4, doing the right thing is a pro, and then everyone's on the same page. And then the con is that there is time wasted because of trying to make a plan, but then there is a lot of money being spent, and there could definitely be some discord about, I don't agree with the way things are, it should be right, you can't tell me what to do, that type of thing. But in doing that, I still believe that option 4 is the best option. So in going along with my number 4, what I would want to do first before I gather the stakeholders is I want to do some research and find out some of the things that I couldn't find in the unknowns. I need to find what our school policy is. Any background of what the principal, what this scenario that we gave, not too sure what our school policy is. Knowing that I do have that in our own policy in Buckland, probably it's there, but I need to make sure I know how it's stated. I think too, it's still very good to go find out in the software company if permission can be granted. Probably not, because of the amount of copies that we're making, we are infringing on their right to make money. And then always in things where it has a legal issue, it's always best to contact a lawyer. And then if there aren't things in the policy, what would be the best direction to go? And sort of make a plan with that and just get some good legal counsel on what I can and can't do. Gather the stakeholders. Definitely, because this is going on, it's a legal matter. Not only have I contacted a lawyer, but I need to talk to my superintendent and let him know what's going on. School board member should be involved in this because it does involve policy or the lack of a policy stated. Myself, Mrs. Lynn, because she was the one who made the copies of it. Other staff members, and I didn't put one other person in here on my slide, but definitely the PTA president. Since the monies are coming from the PTA, that definitely is a stakeholder that needs to be involved in this meeting. During the meeting, explain the situation just to make sure we've got open communication of knowing exactly, even though some people may know already, but in that meeting, what went on. And that explaining that it is a violation, a legal violation, what our responsibility is in knowing that, that not only in a legal aspect, but in an ethical aspect. We know that some may believe that, well, it's under the umbrella that it's because of education. And really, because you're making so many copies, that really doesn't take place because it is infringing on their ability to make money. And then explain the reason of our responses is that we need to bring in and make clear what the policy is with the school in accordance to copyright laws, and then go from there and make a plan, which leads to the solution of, I think, having more voice rather than just the school making it. That there's a lot of people, since it's money coming from the PTA, that if things have been unclear about what should happen next or what should happen because of an infringement occurring, it needs to become from a team rather than top down. So communicate. If in this, we kind of hear a lot of, well, we don't want to spend the money. Well, that's fine. So where can we go and look for grants? Can we find a grant writer? Is there a grant writer in our community that can help us get that? So that, thank you, PTA, very much for making that commitment to adding more software. However, we are still under the obligation to follow the law and the ethical part of maintaining and proper use of copyright. But this also goes into, what does it mean that the staff doesn't know about our policies, and does training need to be involved? That could be just the beginning, this group of stakeholders right from now, and at the beginning of an ad hoc committee of what can we do in change. And just state it, and people that might be a little disgruntled that they are, this is just saving money, who will know? But really standing firm on the fact that no, it is our obligation to adhere to the law and the respect of the people who made it, and to be a responsible citizen and also a great role model to our students. So in relation to our CLO 6.3, reflectively evaluate the communicate about and implement laws and rights and policies and regulations to promote student and adult success and well-being. We are to be role models for our students, and they will mimic our actions. If we let copyright infringements slide, how can we ask our students to behave themselves at a higher standard? As school leaders, as a school leader, I must also set expectations for my staff to follow proper protocols. And I also would feel like if I had staff members not follow this, but then they would want me to come and back them up because a student didn't follow their rule, I would have a hard time with that, and probably gently remind them that this is the kind of interesting fact that you're asking me to do something, but you're also willing to infringe on things that are of a legal and ethical obligation. And then when it comes to our PLO 6, promote the current and future success and well-being of each student and adult by applying the knowledge, skills, and commitment necessary to improve managed communication, technology, school-level governance, and operation systems, develop and improve data-informed and equitable school resources, plans, and to apply laws, policy, and regulations. By following this plan and maybe coming up with a plan together as this ad hoc committee, not only we are adhering to legal issues, but ethical issues. If we are working together and we have voices and stakeholders from all parts of the community, we are maintaining a positive reputation. There's open lines of communication, and there's just an additional accountability to it. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation. Here are my references, and I added one on the top where I found the copyright and fair use, one of my earlier slides. Thank you.